Since I bought the HomePod, it has remained one of my favorite products ever. Though it's starting to show its age, as it turned 3 years old just this last month, but still, Apple's remained consistent with updates that add things like handoff, intercom, and AirPlay 2. But now they released an update that allows you to pair them with your TV for a default output. Before, you were able to select them in the Apple TV AirPlay menu, which disconnects often since it's not really meant to be a permanent speaker setup. But now, finally, you have this option, and it's really good. So good that it has exceeded my expectations. In order to pair, you have to have an Apple TV 4K. You can't be using this with an older Apple TV, which is a pretty big setback to this setup. Another thing that is noteworthy before you buy is that you can't use the HomePod minis for this, just the regular HomePod. But you still could do this in the AirPlay menu, but it creates more of an inconvenience. And I wouldn't even bother, since the minis simply don't have the same amount of power as the run-of-the-mill soundbar, which could be bought for less. Anyways, the HomePod could be used in both 1 or 2 HomePod configurations. For their positioning, if you have 2, they should be placed at least 4 feet apart from each other. If you're using just one HomePod, it should be placed in the center of your TV, and both configurations should be placed at least 10 inches from the wall. Next, make sure that both your Apple TV and your HomePod or HomePods are in the same room in the Home app. And finally, to go pair in settings on your Apple TV, and click on the default audio output option. After that, the HomePod or HomePods should show up in that menu. Now all you need to do is click on it and wait for it to pair. I recommend to make sure the audio format setting is set to auto, and you're pretty much done. And also, to tell if it's working, turn on your Apple TV, and the volume indicators should light up on top of the HomePods. To start off, the speakers support Dolby Atmos, Dolby Digital 5.1, and 7.1 surround sound. This allows for ultra-immersive sound that'll make you feel like you're really in the movie. The HomePods do lack a center channel, though. A center channel is a speaker in the center that is dedicated to dialogue and is in most high-end surround sound systems. The HomePod, though lacking this feature, it still does sound really good with the dialogue. The dialogue sounds really crisp and really good. Now, the HomePod might sound different from person to person because of spatial awareness. Spatial awareness is a feature that'll automatically tune the audio for how big or small your room is, or what's in your room. Spatial awareness is actually very cool, and in my experience, it sounds really good. And the HomePod sounds really amazing, and will sound comparable to speakers that almost cost twice as much. But to be honest, you really won't be getting the insane actual surround sound speakers behind you, and sometimes even above you. It's just simple science that 2 speakers can't put out the same amount of sound as something like that. After a bunch of time testing the HomePods and the stereo pair, it sounds absolutely amazing with the surround sound and Dolby Atmos. It sounds like stuff is actually coming from behind you. It's just an amazing setup, and it also gets very loud, which is very nice if you have a big room. And also, the HomePods have very crisp dialogue, especially for not having their center channel. I just really love how the HomePods sound, and I really do think that they sound awesome for your TV speakers. A downside of this setup is that you can't pair a gaming console or really any other outputs, which may be useless to a lot of people, but for someone who plays a lot of games and just has a bunch of inputs, this could be a big problem, and maybe even a deal breaker. If you were going to play music on this, it sounds absolutely insane. It gets absurdly loud and makes me feel like I want to step back. It's just awesome with the 4-inch woofer and its 7 tweeters. The sound really just is great. I think this setup is awesome, especially if it's on sale for $200 each. If you could get them for that, then it's a great buy over a soundbar. You get Siri smart home controls and an excellent Apple ecosystem integration. I love this setup, and it has a lot to like, and I really do recommend it, and I really hope that a HomePod 2 is coming out soon.